Hong Kong protesters, how is it going on the front lines? Hacker here, but not frontline protester. Public gatherings have most subsided as most organizers don't want to risk further contagion. There are still people who come out and block the roads on monthly anniversaries of 721, 831 and the death of the college student protester. I think that's 1113. The prosecution from the government hasn't stopped. Just yesterday a councilwoman was arrested with some charge that was not used since 1967. RTHK, which produces documentaries and satire show, are under attack from the pro-Beijing camps. The police beat suspects until they are too injured to attend their court hearings. But on some fronts the fight is still continuing. Volunteers still put up poster art on walls even though the risks of just doing that has been greater and greater. There are people planning the strategy to LegCo, Legislative Council, election that will take place near the end of. You see pictures of masked protesters holding the Free HK, Revolution Now flag around Hong Kong to remind people not to forget about the cause and the people who made sacrifices for it. Groups are still trying to get other countries to pass legislations to support our fight for freedom and autonomy. Some individuals are trying to sue the police in a civil suit. Also, some pro-Beijing LegCo members are pushing to pass Article 23, a national security law which will effectively end freedom of speech and assembly. There has been a lot of talk about to push this back, so I guess we will see. I feel like everyone are realizing, even though the pitched battles with fire and bricks are what draw the headlines, but we are in for a long fight. Preserving our culture, our language and our values in the long run is as important as anything else. I know the odds are stacked against us and all anyone can talk about is how powerful the CCP is, but we are not giving up yet. Free Hong Kong, 5 demands, not one less. Edit. Thanks for the gold and awards, kind strangers. If you are interested in helping the Hong Kong protesters, there are a lot of resources and discussions over at r/Hong Kong. There are some easy things you can do, like following high-profile protesters on Twitter and YouTube, or supporting legislations to ban exports to HK police if you live in the US or Europe. We appreciate all your support and encouragements. Wherever you are, please stay safe and stay healthy. First rule of being frontline protester: you never identify yourself a frontline protester, even on internet. Edit. This is a serious advice for activists around the world, not just a reference to Fight Club. Please don't underestimate how far a god would go to keep their power, even if you live in a democratic country. Edit 2. And I don't mean Op is asking a bad question. I know this is a genuine question about the current situation of HK. I just want to remind those who have been on the front line, not to expose themselves while explaining the situation. Edit 3. No, this comment doesn't say or imply I am a frontline protester minus. Good morning. Protests have largely stopped because of COVID-19. Some members of the pro-Beijing party are trying to push Article 23 amongst all the paranoia and attention focused on the pandemic. Link here. https://www.scmp.com/comment/opinion/comment/3077109/ It's no time Article 23. https://www.scmp.com/comment/opinion/article/3077109/ It's no time Article 23. Aside from that, police resentment still lingers. The people haven't forgotten. There are still blatant incidents of police misconduct taking place against journalists. https://www.scmp.com/news/Hong Kong/health environment/article/3,074,155/pepper spray arrests Hong Kong's Taipei. https www.scmp.com/news/Hong Kong/health environment/article /3,074,155 pepper spray arrests Hong Kong's Taipei. https://www.hongkong.com/free/3/22/pictures tear gas pepper spray arrests Hong Kong protesters Mark 8 moan /https://www.hongkong.com/2020/free/22/pictures tear gas pepper spray arrests Hong Kong protesters Mark 8 moan /. The double whammy of protests into the coronavirus has hit retailers and businesses especially hard. A drive to the hospital the other day has just rows of shops that have closed down or are close to closing down. I suspect things will pick up again after the epidemic dies down. We know that economic downturns are not good for civil obedience. Our country, from a social perspective, is fucked. No comments actually mentioning the existence of Hong Kong or the protests an hour later. Congratulations op, you've made the list. Expect the Chinese embassy to be reaching out very soon. This post has been censored by the Chinese government. Though things appear to have quieted down, it only looks that way because of the virus. The movement is still very much alive. Things like this: https://lid.kg/1,914,390 have been circulating around. Free educative material that protesters can read so that once we can safely, in terms of virus, go back out, then we have a more planned strategy that will help us push forward. Thank you for not forgetting about us. Hi, I'm Hka, but not one of our braves. We call the frontline protesters the braves. With COVID-19, it's become more and more risky to gather for protests or anything like that. So mainly large activities have subsided, except for some, e.g. the gathering to mark the UN long attack a few days ago. Some smaller activities, which are equally important to the movement, such as Lenin Walls, Lunch with You, etc., are still ongoing. But I can really go into detail about the protests before COVID-19. There were moments when I was protesting that it got bloody and violent. It turns in the blink of an eye. Really. Once I was at a memorial for deceased student Chow Tzz Lok, and the moment the clock hit 9 p.m., the official curfew, for large, unauthorized gatherings, apparently, there was police in riot gear surrounding the park we were in, asking anybody young and dressed in black for their IDs and basically arresting anybody that refused. It didn't get too dangerous that night because the memorial was still considered a religious gathering. But in other protests, such as the one that happened in Central, it can get bloody really quick. In the middle of the protests, at 5 p.m., rather than 9 p.m. as the police said, they suddenly disapproved of the march and ordered everybody to evacuate. Which was impossible, because Hong Kong is a tiny city and there were hundreds of thousands on the streets. So when we couldn't do it, they set up water cannons and fired tear gas. In another protest in Central, back in the occupation of Kuk, they fired tear gas. 40 minutes after the protest began, right when people were beginning to join, it was pretty much impossible to avoid getting hit by the gas. Then they started grabbing people, mostly those dressed in black, and quite literally beat them up right in front of me. There's been so many times I've seen police abuse happen right in front of my eyes. I saw a teen dressed in black just walking near the vicinity of a protest, and the police grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and slammed him against a wall. I saw a boy bleeding from the head after he got hit by a tear gas canister. I saw an old man that tried to shield a protester from the police get pushed onto the floor like he was nothing. I met with university students from Haku when they occupied it to bring them food, and it literally broke my heart when I saw the baton marks on their arms and wrists and the bruises on their faces. And they told me I was too young to be there and told me to leave. These people are kind people. hurts me so bad to know that they are risking their lives like this. I implore everybody to not forget about Hong Kong. r/Hong Kong. Shalv tagged it as serious. Throwaway, obviously. Not what you would call a hardcore frontline, but have been to various protests and inhaled tear gas. TBH, even before the virus broke out, the amount of people going out to protest has dwindled as time goes on, with a few special occasions seeing a sudden influx of people going on peaceful walks and rallies. At least that's the nature of the event. Obviously the Gov and Popo disagree when something outrageous happens. But on the front lines though, most people are very supportive and friendly of each other, and you'll basically get all the help you need should you just speak up. If international media reported much on the two incidents where the police basically blocked into universities, fired a crazy amount of tear gas and arrested a lot of protesters, but after that, a major issue that kinda popped up were that with a lot of more experienced frontline protesters arrested or under bail, the less experienced had to step up. What happened was that in the following protests, people were definitely less organized and aware of what to do. Many times we've seen people just provoking the police and not running away in time, or just occupying a spot until a lot of people just get arrested. After the breakout of the Wuhan virus, there's been a lot less protests, but similar events still garner a lot of attention from protesters, and a lot of us show up to these events, such as monthly gatherings on the 31st to Prince Edward Station due to the incident where police basically entered the station and the train and used a lot of unnecessary force on citizens last August 31st, or holding vigils for those who have fallen from the protests. Psychologically though, I think all protesters, frontline or not, are mentally exhausted. Our government manages to go lower with each policy they make, and police brutality just gets worse every day while their power remains unchecked. It'd go as far to say that we are really desperate, but we're still not giving in. Thanks for asking. It means a lot that internationally, people still care about us. I have no clue. In semi-relevant news, Sisyphus has once again failed to push his rock all the way up the hill. Subscribe, like and comment if you hate outros. Begging you to subscribe, like and comment.